Hi, Facebook. I am back in my car this week after spending it pinging back and forth between Hartford and the district. I think I may have mentioned somewhere along the line that I have put nearly 15,000 miles in my car since the start of the campaign. But I have a feeling this is just the beginning because I am definitely getting to know the various ways to get to Hartford from here. So I wanted to catch you up on a few things that happened this week. It was a busy week. First of all, I finished the last of 9 sets of office hours, one in each of the 9 towns of the district. I had office hours in Sharon, Salisbury, and North Canaan this week. And as I've mentioned, those took place at 7 a.m., 8 a.m., 8:30. I've had to have them at a variety of different times because of the truncated period that I was trying to have them before the holidays and after the recount. So that was not a lot of options. But I hope I've covered a lot of different times of the day for people. I realize it wasn't ideal for everyone, so I really look forward, as I schedule those going forward, to suggestions from you on places to have them, possibly more town halls or libraries, and times of the day that would be convenient. So I look forward to having a regular schedule for those going forward. Another thing that took place this week is on Monday, incoming Governor Ned Lamont had a meeting at the Northwest Connecticut Chamber of Commerce with the Northwest Hills Council of Governments, otherwise known as the COG. This was Lamont's 3rd visit to the Northwest Corner, which we're pretty sure is unprecedented for an incoming governor, and it really says something important about his attention. He's paying attention to the region, and we have his ear, which will be really important going forward. And I, in fact, had coffee with him following that meeting and had the chance to flesh out some of the things that we discussed during the course of the meeting, including support for fire and EMS services, the need for towns for more budgetary predictability from the state, as the towns have to set their budgets before the state does, and at least if they had some idea, so if it was a stable and predictable process, it would make life a lot easier for them. We also talked about an idea of allowing the COG to serve as a county government in a way. So as you all know, we don't have county government in Connecticut, which is mostly a good thing because county governments haven't always behaved very well in most of the country. One disadvantage, however, is that there is some federal money that is specifically allocated for county governments, and so Connecticut generally is not eligible for it. So there's an idea that's out there of setting up the COG so that it can act as a county government in this instance and apply for that federal aid for various priorities. So that's an interesting idea that I think the governor would be willing to pursue with us. And then, as always, we always talk about the need for improved digital infrastructure. This is definitely an area of interest for the governor and an area of need for us, so I think that's a good intersection. Later that evening, it was legislative night at the Litchfield County Regional Fire School, which I went to their ribbon cutting in October. So it's a brand new facility, and it's always a privilege to be there amongst the people who work and train there. It's really impressive and has significantly enhanced our training ability in this corner of the world. So we talked about some of their priorities and challenges, recruiting challenges, the need to make that facility sustainable, which includes continuing to advocate for support for the state for its operating budget, as well as helping to create opportunities for them to generate some revenue so they can be self-sustaining to a degree. We also talked about some of their other legislative priorities, which I look forward to working on, such as making sure that we continue to fund the firefighter cancer bill that passed the legislature last term. Firefighters get cancer at a dramatically higher rate than the rest of the population, and Connecticut is stepping up to make sure that we protect them, and that's really important, and we have to make sure we continue to fund that. Then on Tuesday, I had freshman orientation. It's been a while. I dropped one of my daughters off for freshman orientation this year, but I think this one was a little bit different, but it was fun. It was for all incoming freshmen, senators, representatives, Democrats, Republicans. Everybody wore name tags all day long, but there was no partisan affiliation on that name tag, which is nice to start off that way. And we talked a host of things, including starting off with security issues. There's a Capitol Police force at the building which protects everybody who works there, and they do tremendous work. And so that was it was really nice to hear from them. And then just generally about how the process works, the research, analysis, and drafting of legislation. There are those are non-partisan groups that provide those services to all legislators, including before being sworn in. So legislators elect as well. The committee process, procedures on the House floor, and then the really critical issues of where the bathrooms are, and even more importantly, how to get to those bathrooms if you're trying to avoid lobbyists. So a few inside secrets were shared. It was a fact-filled day, and we all hope to retain some significant percentage of it, but we have notes if we don't. And one side note to that, a lot of people have been asking me, what my committee assignments are. Do I have an office? Do I have an aide? And none of that is decided yet, because those decisions are all made by the party caucuses in Hartford. And they are made, there's a series of dominoes that have to fall. So there are a lot of leadership decisions that have to be made on both sides, in both caucuses, or actually all four caucuses, in terms of committee chairs, in terms of whether, there are it's anticipated that some legislators might leave and go to work for the governor, or some aides might get a job for the attorney general. So we're waiting for all that to happen, and that all has to happen before they can decide who gets which office. And so I am told that those decisions will be made before I am sworn in, but I don't know when specifically. So another thing, there was a meeting also this week of the Government Relations Committee of the Northwest Chamber to flesh out their legislative priorities and how to support economic development in the Northwest corner in particular, and how to make sure that we have a voice at the table. And I think, we are all committed to making sure that the Northwest corner is spoken for, and it's, of course, wonderful as part of that we have the attention of the incoming governor. Then between all that, I have been holding meetings locally and in Hartford with constituents and with nonprofits involved in advocacy of particular issues, including digital infrastructure, the environment, challenges faced by nonprofits, including sudden changes to their tax status. I was also able to tour UConn Health's Farmington campus, which was quite impressive, and to see the cutting edge research that's happening there. Looking ahead, my kids are coming home from school. And for those working parents out there, I know that's a really exciting time, and also sometimes a really challenging time. My house is filling up with, or is going to start filling up with laundry and shoes of all kinds in the mudroom. And we're looking forward to spending the holidays together and reminding us all how to live together and not leave a mess everywhere we go. A couple other things happening this weekend. This weekend marks the final grand opening of Great Falls Brewery in North Canaan, a much anticipated event. That the world grand opening will start at noon tomorrow, the 15th, and I will definitely stop by. Hope you can join me there. On another note, there's also later the evening of the 15th, a vigil to commemorate the Sandy Hook massacre, starting at 5 p.m. in front of Chaiwalla in Salisbury, and I hope some of you can join me there as well. Then a few other, I have a bipartisan issues conference next week on the 18th, and a few other things to wrap up and hopefully spend a little bit of time with my family. I hope you get to do that too. And I hope you get to find some space for a little music in your life over the next few weeks. There's lots of music around, a lot of musicians that live in our area, and my weekend at least will include listening to a concert of Chorus Angelicus at Salisbury Congregational Church on Sunday at 4 p.m. That's the 16th. So maybe I'll see you there. Have a great weekend, and I'll talk to you soon. Take care, Facebook.